Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please, join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience of the new Afrikan Black Panther Party, NAB-PP North. All power to the people.
I'll be having conversation with people, and they'll be like, so what do we do? What is our option? How do we change our material conditions? How do we change the reality around us? I mean, you can't do that. This is from our food program. I mean, so that's why I'm starting off like this, to show everybody like the things that you could do in the community. As Panthers, we come together in North to get this food to go out and give to the families that are starving. We all know, if we live in these communities, we know how hard times are. We are all going through it. We eat the same food too. We take the food in our home and we put them in our bellies. This is our during the school year, all year round. We don't have enough money to go build a school to be able to bring in all these children and stuff. We don't have all of that. But we can create an after-school program. And this is one of the ways we bring the kids in with the after-school program so they could come in for us to give them that knowledge, to teach them, and try to help guide them through this reality, through this world. Hey, you say they teach you about 9/11 in school?
Yeah.
What they teach you about 9/11? Why did the plane hit the buildings? You got to say it loud enough so I can hear you.
The Muslim airjacked the plane and then they crashed shit into the Twin Towers.
That's what they taught you, that the Muslims hijacked the plane?
They didn't talk.
That's okay. That's okay. Relax.
The plane crashed into the Twin Towers.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers? They didn't. Anybody? Hey, what you were saying, Major?
I also know that they crashed into the woods.
Hold up. Let Major speak. What'd you say, Major?
My teacher told me that there was hijackers on a plane, and then when they crashed it, left the plane, and there was more hijackers on the other plane, and they crashed into that. That's what Towers again.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers?
Because they wanted to go to New York.
So they crashed into the Twin Towers to go to New York. They died to go to New York.
They wanted to. The hijackers wanted to go to New York, but then they crashed into the Twin Towers.
Oh, they wanted to go land in New York, but they crashed in the Twin Towers. So anybody else got saying to add? Archie, you got saying to add?
I know.
What you want to add?
That the other planes got airjacked and then they crashed into different places.
That's it?
Yeah.
So nobody can tell me why the planes crashed? Why the planes did that? Nobody can tell me? But don't you think the school should tell you why?
Yes. Yeah.
So like, if the school not telling you why, what does that mean?
They keep it secret.
Wow.
It's gatekeeping.
Whoa, where you get gatekeeping from, bro?
I said gates.
But where you learn that at?
TikTok. It's
You say me? you
said
burnt.
TikTok.
You burnt out, yo. You burnt out. Nah, but the reason why they crashed into the into the Twin Towers is because the American government, America was going to their country, taking their natural resources, stealing their stuff, killing their people. So they got mad. They stole a plane and they came and crashed it on the World Trade Center to get back at America. That's why they did it.
So it wasn't 2 planes then?
No, it wasn't one plane. I think it was 2 or 3. Was it? I think it was one. Was no? I think there was one in DC and there was one in Philly or something like that.
So
That did.
Two inside the Twin
Yeah, huh?
So I basically got it right then.
There was
What
one
did-
inside Twin Towers, and then another one tried to crash into the place that Trump lives in.
The Trump Tower? There ain't no plane try to go to the Trump Tower. The White House?
The White House.
Did the plane try to go to the White House?
No, the Pentagon. I think that's
The plane, one went to the Pentagon. But
Something like that.
But these people be lying. The media be lying. The politicians be lying. So you never know what's true. But why they really did it, they said because America was going over to their countries and they were killing their people. They were taking their resources and they were putting military bases in their country. So that's why they did it. I mean, that's why they went over there and did it and stuff. They call that blowback. Like when you go to another country and you do stuff to them and then they come back over here and do something, like they call that blowback.
it's like get back.
Yeah, it's like get back.
They should have did more. So imagine another country.
You said they should have did more?
They should have nuked them.
Then we gonna die. If they nuke us, we gonna die. I don't wanna die.
What if we wasn't alive at that time?
But we're going to continue this later, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all. We're going to continue later. This is our summer basketball camp. It's going on right now. Every day from 9 to 1. We have this basketball camp that that the kids come out. Yo, it's all about organizing and finding ways to bring people out, bring the children out to be able to organize them. I mean, when you doing these things to bring the children in, to bring the community in, yo, you got to be serious. You can't be playing around with this. Yo, like when the kids come here, at the end of the summer, they're stronger, they're faster, they're quicker, and they know more about the game, about the sport than they did before. You know, we watch their minds develop every day. While we're talking about Pantherism, what do we do? What are the solutions? Yo, there's solutions here. I mean, the solutions is organizing our own community, creating an economic base where we can be able to feed ourselves, take care of ourselves without having to bow down to somebody else, without having to beg somebody else for our humanity. Yo, I refuse to go beg anybody to give me humanity. I will take my humanity by force. I understand I am not free. We understand we are not free as Panthers. There's no doubt in our mind if we are free or not. And you cannot hold anybody that's under oppression, that's under neocolonialism, responsible for how their life turned out, because they control no institution. I mean, I often hear people say, like, the drug dealers, the worst thing in our community is drug dealers, because they're stupid. They're ignorant. They haven't educated themselves to understand the world around them. So they just open their mouth and regurgitate whatever they heard somebody else say. You're a fool. If you believe anything out here is your fault or our fault. Seriously. And I'm telling you, I work with the community all day and all night. And I know how ignorant the community can be. But I don't blame the people for the conditions they find themselves in. They have nothing to do with how anything is done materially in this world. They're just bystanders. The people that I hold accountable is those that know, the intellectuals. That's supposed to know better, but continue to usher our people into institutions of white supremacy, of imperialism, that will continue to exploit us. Tell our people to go vote. What are you voting for? I mean, who are you voting for? Who do they serve? They don't serve the people. They won't serve the people, or they won't survive in those institutions.
Get your phone. It's my song.
What's your son?
Yo, for playing, huh?
Get some from. Get some. Let me see. Hold it out, Bobby. Mira. Hold it out. Let me see. Yeah. Hold up. You got it? You like it? There we go. There we go.
Wait, take you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
My name is Panther.
What position you play?
Like this.
Oh, pitcher. You're the pitcher. You're a pitcher. Your children out here?
No. I'm
No.
just watching.
Oh, you just watching? You
Yeah.
just watching too?
I like
My name Afrika.
Africa.
Africa.
Like the country.
Yeah, the continent. Continent.
Like
Yeah, continent. Hold up.
happy.
Huh?
Happy.
Yeah. I'll come every year. I'll bring more stuff.
Because there are a lot of times
I'll come. I'll bring everything every year. Yeah, we just started. We've come in with the organization. The organization,
New African Black Panther
party. So the Black Panther Party. So look, no politician, no rich person will take care of us. The only people that are going to take care of us is us. If we understand that all we need to do is take care of each other, we're going to be good. Yeah, so you notice how all the companies, all the stores is owned by the gringos, Canada, Switzerland. We need to own it. We need to own everything so soon. You need to own stuff in Susua. You need to own Bailey's. You need to own Roomba. Yeah, we need to own all of that shit. Not nobody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But that's why I'm here. Everything we do is free. Everything is free. You don't pay. Yeah, you don't pay for nothing. I mean, this is my guy here. This is my guy, Subi. You know Subi? Yeah, this is my guy. He helped me out down here. I've been with this company for about 7 years, but it's been here since 1969. I'm the leader of the company. I'm the leader now of the organization. Yeah. So we come down. He's gonna be down here working down here in the organization for me. Yeah, he's gonna be here working here.
Also, do you visit Puerto Plata?
Yeah, Puerto Plata everywhere. I go everywhere. I stayed in.
I'm from Puerto Plata. I'm from the shore to
So you want to help me do this in Puerto Plata? I'm about to cut off the camera and I'm about to take your number. We're going to do the same thing. You know, the person that run the baseball, he helping me too.
I live next to a baseball.
Man, what's your name, man? Tell them your name, man.
My name is Brian. I'm teacher of natural science.
Natural science?
Natural science.
Oh my God, I'm hitting a home run everywhere I go, man. Papi, mira. Good? You good? There we go. Biology? My God. But all power to the people. Welcome to All Power to the People on Grown Folks Talk and Express Yourself. Hey, I hope everybody had a great week. I know things are trying out there. Things can be rough. But I hope everybody, journey through. Hey, come join us. Come join us. Let's work together, man. We make these weeks, we make these days go by better. We make life more enjoyable. We come here, if this is your first time here, we come here to learn from the past how to deal with the circumstances that we're dealing with right now in current day America today. We have a good show. We're going to talk about some things that we're going through right now, and then we're going to go back in the past and see how they handled in the past and see what they did in the past that they're still doing today and how we can change that, how we can remedy that. We reading the Philadelphia Negro. We're on chapter 6. I think we got a little bit of the General Secretary narrating, and then Comrade Rodrigo is going to take it over from there. That's another thing. They do a good job. They got to narrate, they got to read the chapter so we can all consume it because it's hard. It's hard in today's world to sit down and read a book. Your attention is everywhere if you're not working 2-3 jobs. People really don't have time to sit down and read a book and go through it. So we try to see how we could do it where it's easier for people to be able to take it in, to download, consume it. And we have the comrades that read it. So far, the General Secretary has been reading every week. I'm going to see if I could read one of these weeks. But Comrade Rodrigo read today. So he's reading the Philadelphia Negro, chapter 6, and we're going to, listen to what Du Bois is saying. And let me go back a little bit. Let me go back. Du Bois was brought in maybe arguably the most intelligent, most accredited black person at the time. Was brought in by philanthropists in Philly at the university to do a study on the black people that were living there, why their reality was the way it was, their condition. And he named that study the Philadelphia Negro. So far, he's been going through telling us how he did the study. First, he explained that you had to go back in history to understand how the circumstances of that day um, became so. So he went back about 100 years, talking about the relationship with black people, with the what was their name, the Quakers, the religious group that was there at that time. We even learned a little bit about the Quakers, about their history. We went through it. He talked about how he did the investigation, how many people helped him in the investigation, how he had to go from ward to ward, block to block, house to house, talking to the people there. He talked about the conditions there. He talked about how the black people that were free and who were the black people that were free, how they dealt with the climate, the political climate, the reality, what they chose to do, how they organized. We went through all of that in this first couple of chapters. I mean, and today, well, let me play it. Let me start it so you can hear it for yourself. See where he go today. Let's see where he go today. I'm gonna stop it so we can have a conversation about it. I mean, but let me know, General Secretary, when Ibrahim tap back in.
The Philadelphia Negro, Chapter 6, Conjugal Condition, Section 15, the 7th Ward. The conjugal condition of the Negroes above 15 years of age living in the 7th Ward is as follows.
For a people comparatively low in the scale of civilization, there is a large proportion of single men, more than in Great Britain, France, or Germany. The number of married women, too, is small, while the large number of widowed and separated indicates widespread and early breaking up of family life. The number of single women is probably lessened by unfortunate girls and increased somewhat by deserted wives who report themselves as single. The number of deserted wives, however, allowing for false reports, is astoundingly large and presents many intricate problems.
Anybody want to talk about that? I'm gonna bring it back because if you wasn't listening, they're dropping some jewels right here. They're dropping the same conversation we having now about our relationship, about our family dynamics, getting married, being in relationships, how we coexist together. They're dropping. He's talking about it in 1896. I'm gonna bring it back because because y'all probably wasn't listening. Listening hard enough, but I'm gonna bring it back.
Age living in the 7th Ward is as follows.
For a people comparatively low in the scale of civilization, there is a large proportion of single men, more than in Great Britain, France, or Germany. The number of married women, too, is small, while the large number of widowed and separated indicates widespread and early breaking up of family life.
Now, you heard what he said? Early breaking up of family life. This is 1896. You say it's a high number of single men, a high number of single women, low marriage rates. Anybody want to say anything about that? Or do you want me to keep going? All right, I'm going to keep going.
The number of single women is probably lessened by unfortunate girls and increased somewhat by deserted wives who report themselves as single. The number of deserted wives, however, allowing for false reports, is astoundingly large and presents many intricate problems. A very large part of charity.
No, Captain Patience. Nobody heard you talking. Go ahead, try again. Let's see if I hear you. Nah, we can't hear you. Like I said on here that your volume not on, but I can't hear nothing you saying.
Hello?
Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
I was saying how it reflects a lot of what we see today, how the families are broken up now, and how there's usually like one woman in the house taking care of the children while the father is like, especially like when we're talking about black people.
What's the term they use just now? They say what? The women are what? They're left what? Deserted? What was the term they used? Is that what they used?
I don't think so.
Wait, no, let me bring it back. They use a term.
Somewhat by deserted wives who report themselves as single.
Deserted wives that report themselves as single. Go ahead. I hope I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, from that it sounds like they were left. So, and that's a lot of the sentiments we feel towards the men in our community too nowadays. It's like the man is leaving the household. He doesn't want to be a part of it. He doesn't want to take care of the kids. He doesn't want to hold that responsibility. And I want to keep listening to see if he addresses why that's
why that's so. Hey, look, though. Can I ask you a favor, though?
Sure.
Yo, I need your camera on. I want your camera on. I want, like, when we cut these videos and we share them out there, yo, I want the people to see that it's other normal people that's having this conversation, just like them. I want everybody camera on. Like, no pressure. You ain't got to put your camera on today. Everybody out there, you ain't got to put your camera on today. I mean, no pressure. But I would like the camera on so we could have this conversation like we all sitting in the same room together. Because that's how I visualize it. Like we all sit in the same room just having a conversation, listening to. It's like, yo, back in the day, I wasn't back in those days. I didn't grow up in that day. But back in the day, people used to, like, just listen to the radio. They used to just sit and listen to the radio. And then conversate about what they're listening to. Like, I want this to be something like that. That's how I see it in my mind when I'm doing this. I visualize everybody here in the same space. But yeah, but if you can't, turn your video on. I mean, I want to show you. I want the world to see you, to hear what you got to say. Because most of the time, we're denied the ability to speak. We're not given a voice. Everybody speaks for us. I want you to speak for yourself here. But let me go back. Like, they keep going back.
1 second, Chairman.
Go ahead.
Ibrahim is here.
Ibrahim is here?
Yes.
Hey, you there, Ibrahim?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, did you hear the first part just now?
No, I missed. I just logged back on after y'all restarted.
We was talking about it. I'm going to bring it back because I want you to hear this, yo. I want you to hear it. I'm going to bring it back. It ain't that long, y'all. Boom, be right here.
Condition. Section 15. The 7th Ward. The conjugal condition of the Negroes above 15 years of age living in the 7th Ward is as follows.
For a people comparatively low in the scale of civilization, there is a large proportion of single men, more than in Great Britain, France, or Germany. The number of married women, too, is small, while the large number of widowed and separated indicates widespread and early breaking up of family life. The number of single women is probably lessened by unfortunate girls and increased somewhat by deserted wives who report themselves as single. The number of deserted wives, however, allowing for false reports, is astoundingly large and presents many intricate problems.
That's what we was talking about just now. Before you came in, Ibrahim, that's all we listened to just now. And we was giving our opinions on that. And the captain just said, Captain Patient just said that she wouldn't hear if he goes in more in depth to say why those situations are like that. Why our families are like that. And that's deep, because that's where everything starts from. That's the foundation of everything. If there's no family structure, like, the child is going to grow up to be wild, like a wild weed. I mean, and that's the conversation we was having before you came in. You want to say anything about that, or you want me to keep going?
How would you say? I think that would be understood with the Great Migration, because people didn't leave with their family, especially a lot of black men that had to flee the South due to being lynched or something like that. You coming up here for opportunity, so you get a bunch of black men who haven't established a family yet.
Nah, all power to the people. Nah, that is true. Like, there's no other way to say it. That is true. Nah, because, like, people that was migrating, people that was running, even now, when we talk about immigration now, most of the time it be like the man that come over and then they work whatever. They work like 6 jobs, whatever, work at a car wash to try to pay for their family to come over. It's the same thing that was going on back then. I'm going to keep playing it.
A very large part of charity given to Negroes is asked for this reason. The causes of desertion are partly laxity in morals and partly the difficulty of supporting a family. The lax moral habits of the slave regime still show themselves in a large amount of cohabitation without marriage. In the slum districts, there are many such families which remain together years and are in effect common law marriages. Some of these connections are broken by whim or desire, although in many cases they are permanent unions. The economic difficulties arise continually among young waiters and servant girls, away from home and oppressed by the peculiar lonesomeness of a great city. They form chance acquaintances here and there, thoughtlessly marry, and soon find that the husband's income cannot alone support a family. Then comes a struggle which generally results in the wife's turning laundress, but often results in desertion or voluntary separation. A great number of widows is noticeable. The conditions of life for men are much harder than for women, and they have consequently a much higher death rate. Unacknowledged this.
Has anything changed? This is 1896. Has anything changed in the death rates and the ability to get jobs in this social structure, in this society that we live in? Has anything changed? See, when we talk about systemic, see, that's what we're talking about. Like, the system is already in place to maintain and keep these things going, these realities, these social ills. I mean, if anybody wants to say something, go ahead. But, like, everything I'm hearing is like a replay. Like, nothing has really changed.
Desertion and separation also increases this total. Then, too, a large number of these widows are simply unmarried mothers and thus represent the unchastity of a large number of women. The result of this large number of homes without husbands is to increase the burden of charity and benevolence, and also on account of the poor home life to increase crime.
And once again, like, notice the thing, what crime is. Like, notice what he's talking about. I don't know if I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard him attribute what the people we're dealing with the society around them, with the institutions that control everything that they're doing. Like, I don't know. Anybody heard him? Anybody heard it? Anybody want to say something? Because I told you I want this to be conversational. I don't want to be the only one speaking. I don't want to be preaching up here. I want us to have a conversation. I mean, so, look, I'm asking. I'm asking respectfully for people to chime in.
Here is a wide field for social regeneration. Separating the sexes by age periods according to conjugal condition, we have these tables. When we remember that in slavery time, slaves usually began to cohabit at an early age, these figures indicate the sudden and somewhat disastrous application of the preventative check to population through the economic stress of life in large cities.
Did he just say it? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Yo, like right now, yo, I remember, like, even when I was growing up, it was still here, but like my father and mother had 6 kids together. My father had more kids outside of that. I mean, before you can have large families, you can't have large families no more. Most people can't afford it. Most people walk around with 2 or 3 kids, one, if they have children. And like, people don't pay attention. People think like this is just natural. This is what people want. This is how they want to move. But if you make everything too expensive, if people can't afford to have children, why would they have children? So the economics, the society, the institutions control how we all moving. But we all think we're free. You can't even have as many kids as you want, but you think you're free. Anybody got something? Anybody want to talk about that? Do they see it different? How do you see it? Why do you think people not having children like they used to? Why do you think people are waiting to get married? If they get married, it's some more stuff you're about to talk about. But like I said, if you want to say, go ahead.
Yeah, Chairman. Yeah, this is, you can't afford anything, let alone children. Like, even now, when I think about it, we're supposed to have children. We're supposed to reproduce, bring the generation forward. But like you said, the statistics out there, less and less people are having kids. And the kids that we do have, due to the education system and institution, they're not educated to survive in the world that they're about to live in. So that's why it's important for organizations as us to be there, to prepare the next generation.
All power to the people.
Negro girls no longer marry in their teens as their mothers and grandmothers did. Of those in their 20s, over 40% are still unmarried, and of those in their 30s, 21%. So sudden a change in marriage customs mean grave dangers, as shown by the fact that 45 of the married couples under 40 were permanently separated, and 239 women were widowed. If we reduce the general conjugal condition to percents, we have this table. Here it is plain that although a large percent of men under 40 marry, there is nevertheless a number who wait until they are settled in life and have a competence. With the mass of Negroes, however, the waiting past the 40th year means simply increased caution about marriage, or, if they are widowers, about remarriage. Consequently, while, for instance, in Germany,
I have a few friends that are in their 40s. They are single. They all don't want to be in a relationship. That's deep. He's saying back then, once they get in their 40s, they don't want to get married. They don't want to be with nobody. They'd rather be alone. Anybody want to say anything about that?
I do.
Go ahead.
Well, I know people in their 50s. Most of the males that I know, that I've known for many years, going back to high school, the majority of them had no kids at all. And out of all the females, ladies, women that I've known since high school, they average exactly 1 or 2 children. And the ones that I do know, that the males that have children, they either have 2 or they can have as many as 5. But they're in the super minority. And this is where the imbalance is, because the ones that do have more kids have the better jobs, while the ones with no kids are still single or never been married, the majority, have relationships throughout their lives where they cohabitate. Very, very close to what we're looking at here, actually, in the 1890s, except that this is not just black men that I know. These are white, black, Hispanic. It seems like it became the standard that by this age, or by 40, you're not having kids. You're not even going to get married. But when the time, it seems like between 30 and 40 should be the window. But in this generation, as far as I know, those were like big party years where no one was looking at serious relationships, or they think that they were testing the waters, and then they just end up with a new relationship and then do the same thing over and over again. But I don't think this is by accident. I think that this might be by conditioning, some sort of plan, the same way as China instituted the one-child law for many years, even though that didn't work out as well. It created 8 million illegal people within their own country who were never reported. But it also created a situation where a lot of girls were aborted before they were born, because in Chinese traditional society, boys are the ones that take care of their parents when they get older, and girls, they marry off to take care of another family. And I can see this as being as a law. It didn't work out, and then they changed it. But here in the United States, and they don't want to seem like they're repressive overtly, they still find ways. They always find ways to skirt the laws in order, which is a lot more criminal.
Yo, I'm scared. Why do I have an echo? But anyway, I'm scared to even go here, to get off the highway and go here. But I think a lot of it has to do with how the system is structured with relationship, how to deal with relationships.
I wanna say something too, Africa, when you're done.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna say something after you. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Karima. So
Hey.
that's a very good question, and I'm gonna try to answer it and how I see it. So I have 3 daughters, and they're all 6 years apart. So my 34-year-old, and I always ask questions, and I think for her era, her age, it's a matter of they trying to struggle to stay alive, and I don't think that they even see room for kids. Like, how am I bring a kid into this world and I can't even keep up with the rent and everything that's going on? I'm just starting to get my life together and figure it out. I got a 28-year-old. She's still trying to figure stuff out. And then my youngest one, who was in your classes, 22, she just graduated from college. So she in school trying to boss out and be her own boss. And I think that females in general are just trying to be a boss. You know, they not looking to be settling down with no man that's not trying to marry them, just want to play around. So I think that they don't even want to tap into that. They just looking out for their future right now and trying to stay focused. And for me, I'm 54, and I've been single for a long time. And after Kamora turned 18, it was go time for me. I don't even know if y'all know, but I don't even live in New Jersey no more. I left the city in North. You know, I was working for the city. I left them in 2022, and I moved to Vermont to go to school. I'm actually in law school trying to do this thing because the struggle is real, for real. But I don't want no obstacles in my way. I'm just trying to follow my dream that I always had to be an attorney at a very young age. So I'm just really focused on me and what I want now. Being a mother of 3 kids, taking care of other people. Now I just got to take care of me. So I'm just laid back right now.
All power to the people. Hey,
let me jump in before you go.
No. You about to go. You got the floor. Hey, yo, I want to say this real quick. Hey, yo, like, I don't have a picture up here, but if you saw Karima, she do not look like no 50-something. She don't look like she got a 35-year-old. Like, maybe one day y'all gonna see the picture of her when she come on the video. She show herself. Yo, every time she dropped the ages of her children, 35, 28, 22, like, I can't even believe it because she doesn't even look like, I look older than her with all this gray. And I didn't even know you moved. I didn't even know.
Tell everybody, out of sight, out of mind. You feel me?
That's crazy. And I didn't even know, like, you was interested in law. Now, when I first went to college, I wanted to go into law. I mean, and I'm being lazy to go back and get my master's. I should have went back.
Don't be lazy. Go get it. Africa, I got a mouth like yours. I'm an advocate. Like, you got to know, I don't play that. Like, don't nobody tell me what to do. I got transferred a lot of times in the city of Newark because of my mouth. Like, you definitely ain't got enough money to buy me. I say whatever I want to say. I'm marketable. So if you fire me, I'm marketable. I've been working since 15. So you could fire me, but I ain't scared. I could get a job anywhere. Some people can't. So they do what they got to do. But, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but it was one thing that you said that touched me because, I always rock with you in patience. No matter what y'all said, no matter how y'all felt, y'all said what y'all needed to say. And, I was with NAVC, and there was one thing that you said when the Dorsey brothers was going through what they was going through. You was like, these fake organizations, they pick and choose who they want to defend. You was like, they supposed to be for the people. When you said that, I said, he's right. And I got to show up for the Dorseys. Like, this can't be a political thing. This got to be for the people thing. And I don't know if you remember, but I showed up on the block when y'all had, it was the attorney there. Speaking, and I showed up. I was like, I hope Africa don't try to blast me when he see my NAVC shirt. But you were right. We got to represent the people. It can't be we representing a person. We're there for the community. The organizations are there for a community. It can't be a personal thing like, because I don't like him. I can't. We're not there for that. And so I showed up because you were right, that we have to support people no matter how we feel personally about them. You got to move that out the way, and now we got to support them as the organization is supposed to do for the community. So I was glad that you put that in my head because you were absolutely right.
All power to the people. Yeah, my bad, Ibrahim. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ibrahim. Go ahead now.
No problem. I was just going to say, when I'm looking at this chart, 15 to 40, I'm thinking about the life expectancy of the people.
Mm.
And you're not like back then in the early 1900s, and this is before the Great Depression. There's not too much life after 40, especially when you talk about starting and creating and sustaining a family and being able to take care of them. And then as you go up to 40 to 60, you see it drops off drastically, and then at 60 years old, right? So I'm just thinking about everything that goes into life and trying to sustain a life and sustain a family and your ability to go out there and maintain, because these people, they going from a agrarian society to an industrial society, and this is hard work, right? So you need your youth in your 20s and your 30s and your late 30s to go out there and make a living. Once you get to 40 to 60, you if you was able to maintain and still be healthy, I don't know how much of that you could focus on a family. Nowadays, I think because of society, it's not warranted, right? The elders used to say, why buy the cow when you can get why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? And I'm just being honest with you. There was a taboo and a stigma then that there isn't now. I even see it with people that I grew up with, especially the women and how influential they are. You can kind of tell the difference between the generation that the men grew up in, like how they dress, how they talk, the some of the slang and verbiage that they use. But I noticed with the women, for the most part, it's just all like seeped in. Like, and I'm like, wow, they are, very they like take to what's going on in society way more than the men do. The way the young men dress, and like if you was born in like the late 70s, 80s, early 90s, and if you was born in like the 2000s, there's a distinct difference. I was watching some guy, he had on like a crop top outfit, and I was like, wow, we would never wear that, right? And he, wasn't homosexual or anything, but I'm just saying, like, the way, just the whole stigma, right? There was a time where if you was pregnant, you would leave your community. If you was pregnant and you wasn't married, in order to not be a stain on your family, they would just say such and such went away to college or went away and did this or went away and did that. And then, you come back years later with a cousin or a niece, and the whole family is terrible. Nowadays, it's just different. A lot of people don't require marriage to have kids, move in with them, play house, or so it's just that whole dynamic.
Garlic.
We kind of point to like the family structure being broken, and it is hard when you see somebody like a Kevin Samuel or other individuals pointing this out. And I had a lot of issues with some of the things that he would say as well. But it just points to how our society views the family structure and how we kind of partake into that. And I think this is why institutions like this is needed, because you want to keep those foundational strongholds, right? No matter what society is telling you, you want to be able to re-educate or educate the people in your own silos to tell them, like, this ain't right. How many genders someone say it is, it's only two genders. No matter how benevolent they try to make, certain demographics of this society out to be, right? These people was doing the most horrendous things, right? No matter how people want to downplay family and say, hey, don't worry about, being locked down. You could do X, Y, and Z. There's a Bowling Green study that actually shows, married people live better lives. They have more money. The women work less. The men are more employed. The housing is better. They make more money, right? So this whole fictional story that they put on, where if you go out and you be single, you can live your best life, and then later on you get married, without talking about all of the negative attachments and the vices that's attached to it and how it actually marginalizes your life, is just a myth. So you do need people that'll pull you back in and say, nah, this isn't right. But yeah, I'll just end by saying, the miseducation of society tells us that we don't need it. But the data still points to you actually need this to live a better, more holistic, and you'll get more benefit and more whatever out of life if you actually have a family.
All power to the people. And basically, what you said, what Karima said, what everybody, it all ties in together. We can't do, or we can't live the lives we want to live if there's no structure, there's no foundation. That's the purpose for family. But that's not the individual person's fault. Like Karima was saying when she came to the thing, she was thinking in her mind, I hope Africa don't go off on me because I got the NAVC. We work for the people. We serve the people. The people that control the structures, the institutions, those are the people that we got to beef with. But whoever is with POP, the regular person, because they got different organizations out here, most of the time people are searching for where to go to be able to make an impact. And they don't know, because I didn't know. At one point, I was working for the mayor. I was over there supporting the mayor, telling people to go vote for him. Like, you don't know at first. You grow. You come, because like you just said, Ibrahim, like we don't have institutions or structures that give us that memory, that institutional memory where we know where we should go, where we shouldn't go. And we have to put those things in the community, in the society. That's why we do this program. That's why we come back on Wednesday and do the political education classes. We don't have enough money, resources to control the airways, to build buildings where we could send people to school, do all. We don't have that. So you got to use what you got in your hand. And what we got in our hand right now is social media. They're going to take that away sooner or later. But right now, what we got in our hand is social media to be able to reach people, to show them, to let them listen to Du Bois. Him explain the same conditions that we're going through right now. They was going through in 18-something. You see, but what he's leaving out is the social structure around it that created that reality. Don't no woman want to be with somebody that can't afford to take care of them, that cannot afford to pay the bills, that is not on the same level, intellectually and financially. The people that control the society, this institution, they have made sure to put a wide chasm between the sexes, between the male and the female. Go look at the prisons. Out of both sexes, who's in prison? The men are in prison. If the men are in prison, they're outside of society. What's that going to do? It's going to bring the number down of men that are there. When you go get a job, who's going to get that job quicker? Who does white supremacy feel more comfortable with? When you go inside these schools, I swear to God, this was like 10 years ago. I was watching, because my kids were going through the public school system, and I was watching the graduations year after year, who passed, who did this, because I was a sociologist. I was going to school for sociology, and I was all into like studying society, studying data, and I remember I went to my daughter's graduation. If I was like 20 girls graduating and like 5 or 6 boys. And I'm looking at that like, something is wrong with this. I mean, but who do you talk to about it? Who do you have a conversation there about it with? I went to my son's graduation. Like 40, 50 girls graduating, probably like 12 or 13 boys. This is not organic. This is a social construct that's put in place to maintain the society the way it is. That's how from the 1900s till now, you still have the same issues in our communities because the institutions are there to make it so. If people are not making enough, you're not going to have no family. And then they put things in, and I know this is kind of a touchy subject, but they put things in like not welfare, child support. Most of the men that I know above 40 years old, they've paid child support since they were in their 20s. So even though they were not in relationships, they paid child support, which meant, by and large, like they really didn't have a place to stay. They were not stable. No woman want to come be with nobody where even though you do have a job, I got my best friend, bro, was a manager making like 90, 100,000, but he had 2-3 kids on child support. I mean, like as soon as something happened in the relationships, it didn't like back in the day where you say like, you stay together, you work. Nah, the woman trying to go do her thing, and each of the women that he was with, like they were professionals. They worked middle class jobs. So they're like, man, I'm out. Like they break up, they do whatever. He got to pay the child support. I mean, like I said to him that he's scarred. Yo,
when you're done, I got something to say.
Yeah. I be saying like, yo, you scarred. I mean, you're scarred. You're traumatized from all the things that you experienced dealing with this woman because he couldn't control the children. He couldn't do nothing. All he did was just pay child support. So he, like, at some moments, he was homeless. I went through all of this. I saw this with him. He was sleeping in his car. He had too much pride. He didn't even tell me. Had all his stuff in his car. Boy, a manager. I mean, that puts a wedge in our family structure. I'm not saying men shouldn't take care of their children. That would be crazy to say, because I take care of a lot of people's children in the community. I do the after-school program. I run it. Captain Patience and I run it. We go pick up the kids. We take them. We work with them. We help them with their homework. So why would I sit here and say, like, yo, like, men shouldn't do their responsibility? But I am saying, like, being real, in the society we live in, the economic structure we live in, the way the court system handle these relationships is detrimental to keeping our families whole. I mean, and that's nothing inflammatory. That's not. I'm not saying nothing that's crazy. I mean, but we have to deal with that. We have to accept that and understand these institutions don't serve us, and we must go away and build our own institutions to take care of our own communities. Go ahead, General Secretary.
If you guys, after the show, please go to the chairman's Instagram. His Instagram is Afrika the G. There's a video of a father who had to go to the police station because he had shared custody to pick up his daughter, and his ex-baby mother is there with her cop boyfriend from another department, because she does this they both got restraining orders on each other. He lives in Passaic. He went to a party in Passaic, and she happens to be there. She leaves the party at 4 o'clock in the morning, goes to the police department and says that this man is stalking and harassing her, and gets him arrested. There are several things I have issues with. One, why his daughter is I believe is under 5. The first introduction this child has, she has to go to the police station for her father to pick her up. That's what we mean about institution. Why is that institution involved in the picking and dropping off a kid? That's violence right there. And not only that, this father, the so-called myth of the absent black father, is actually trying to be there for his child, and it's being stopped by the institution. And this woman is able to do that because her mother is best friends with Congresswoman Nellie Poe. Nellie Poe was there for her boyfriend, her cop boyfriend, when he became sergeant. Nellie Poe was there hugging on her mother because they're best friends on all these events. These people use the political system, and the political system abuses their power to railroad black men on a daily basis.
All power to the people. And I'm going to say it again. And look, this is not an attack on black women. The same way how the system has things in place for black women, they got things in place for black men. That's why we have to leave this system and build institutions that's going to take care of us. And every time I say that, in the back of my mind, I know it's not a racial thing. It is a class struggle. It is a class struggle. We have everybody. Because like just now when we were saying, Rodrigo was on here and he said, it's not just black men. This is going on with Hispanic men. This is going on with white men. Like, we got to be brave enough to be able to see the whole data and be able to analyze it. The people that are in position of power have written policies and created a climate that divides us amongst ourselves. These are some of the things that they do, some of the ways that they do it, by controlling how many kids we have. That's too much power. Why are we giving them that power? There's only one way to take away that power, by building the institutions in your communities to serve you. I could go on forever, bro. Like, there's so much I want to say right now, because I want to talk about the meetings we had, everything that we've been doing all weekend, everything that we're doing to try to put these institutions in the community. But we're going to be here all day. But we working. But we need more people. We need everybody to understand this and start working together. We start pulling together. And that's how we make this thing work.
84.8% of the men from 40 to 60 are married. Among the Negroes of this ward, less than 74% are married. At the same time, there are indications of a large number of broken marriage ties. Of the men under 40, the bulk marry late, that is, in their 30s. Turning now to the women, we have a table in which the noticeable feature is the extraordinary number of widowed and separated persons.
But even like he just said, like the people that get married, whatever. See, but like he's not going in depth to explain the class of people. Yo, it's just like now. Yo, when I was little growing up, what I want to say is not even true. But the facade, it was a facade that who you are, your integrity, your character, this is what makes you attractable to women, or this is what makes you attractive. This, like, but it was just preached. It wasn't so. Because, like, when I look back now, it's always been how much money you have. I don't care if you go back doing slavery, whatever, in mating. It's always how much money you have. But before, the facade, like the lie, like they would really try to lie to you and tell you really as a man, your value is in your integrity, your character. Like, especially if you go to church, you go to, like, this is what they really tell you. But in real reality, and I kind of knew it back then too, like in real reality, it's all about money, how much money you have. I mean, but just think about that mentality that a kid has. They're growing up, they understand that it's not really about being respectful to the young lady, like being chivalrous. All of that don't matter. All that matters, the clothes that you got on, how fly you are. That's all that really matters. The money you got in your pocket, that's what matters in courting. If we don't control that, how we court, how we mate, why we do what we do, but how can you expect anything positive to come out from the other side? If all, like right now, like if you talk to young females, I talk to kids all the time, every day, and you ask them what they're attracted to in a boy, you ask a girl what you're attracted to, how he dress, he got money, this, that, and they don't talk about how they treat them. They don't talk about their character. He don't lie. He tell the truth. He's courageous. He's smart. He's intelligent. That ain't coming up. If you ask a boy, you'll be surprised. Because she's Spanish. She light-skinned. She has nice hair. She's pretty. She's cute. There's nothing about intellect. There's nothing about that human being that's in there. Everything's so superficial. And you don't really get to the essence of who that human being is. But this is how we are being socialized. And that is what produces what we have. So you get into a relationship with somebody, you're in a relationship, y'all both expecting like two insane, it's not going to work. You just look at her as a piece of meat, as just material, and she look at you as a bank account. How can you have a relationship like that? I mean, instead of going into it, understanding that we are being enslaved, like we're not free. We can't control our destiny. Even if we have kids, we don't control what they learn in school, what schools they go to. Our purpose of being together is towards the liberation of our people. That's the bond you have. That's what you work towards. That's the oath that you've signed with each other. That we're with each other no matter what. Thick and thin, whatever we go through, we're going to go through this life together. And we're going to create a reality for our people that's better than it was yesterday. And both of you work towards that effort. Patience and I, we share the same phone. My password to my telephone is the same password to her phone. We have no secret. Everything is one. In our house, we have a bank account. Everybody in the house uses the same card. We all understand, like, we all got to pay the bills. We all got to survive. We all use the same stuff. Our purpose is different. But that has to be a structure. It has to come from somewhere. It has to be institutionalized. And that's the issue. That's what we're dealing with. We haven't institutionalized how to protect our family, how to take care of our family, the purpose of family, the purpose of relationships. We haven't done none of that. We don't do that. We don't have that in our community. And our leaders, our celebrities, our political leaders, all of that, what they feed us is what white supremacy wants us to know. General Secretary, go ahead.
So I have two comments.
Hold on. You had one, and then when I spoke, you got another one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I had two
Go
comments.
ahead.
One, when we talk about how institutions are doing black men, the same goes, like you said, for black women. After the show, go to the chairman's IG. There's a video about Miss Charlene Garlick. She's actually on the phone on the show right now, and I'll give her a chance to speak towards the end of the show. But Miss Charlene,
Hey, hold up 1 second. How you doing, Miss Charlene?
I don't know if she's able to unmute. Let me see.
If you hear me, I said hi. I'm Chairman Chairman Africa. I heard about what's going on. We'll talk later. But I'm happy that you're here. But go ahead, Chairman.
Yeah. So Miss Charlene Garlick, ex-husband who has friends in the police department, tried to get this because she owns 75% of the property from the divorce, and that's his goal, is to get this property. And he used the police department. He used the mental health facility. They tried to get this lady committed. They took away her guns, but at the end of the day, they had to give her guns back because they weren't supposed to take it in the first place. But there's a Senator Fred Madden involved. There's a Jefferson Health Hospital involved. There's Monroe Police Department. All these institutions are working daily to oppress the people. So when they come with you talking about, oh, we into fascism now because Trump is here. No, we've been there. Things are happening to people, and because the people don't have the platform, you don't hear these stories. Miss Charlene Garlick is not the only one, and that young father that's dealing with his baby mother and the congressman, he's not the only one. These things have been happening. It happened under Biden, Trump. It happened under all your mayors, all your council people. It's been happening, but nobody knows about it. And that's why it's important for us to have these platforms to bring light to these situations. Oh, and the last comment I have, when our son Poppy was young, he said when he grow up, he's going to have one spoon, one pillow, one plate, one fork, because he thought he would be living by himself, because that's how he was conditioned from this society. He is 24 years old. He don't live that way. He live with his family, and there's no problem with that.
All power to the people. We ain't never going to, this is only 6 minutes, this audio. I think I got like 30 seconds left. Let me finish it out real quick.
Indicated economic stress, a high death rate, and lax morality. Such are the social results of a large excess of young women in a city where young men cannot afford to marry. Of the women below 40, we have this tabulation. The comparatively large number of separations is here to be noticed, and the fact that over a fifth of the women between 30 and 40 are unmarried and 40% are without husbands. From all these statistics, making some allowance for the small number of persons counted and the peculiar conditions of the ward, we may conclude, 1. That a tendency to much later marriage than under the slave system is revolutionizing the Negro family and incidentally leading to much irregularity. 2. There is nevertheless still the temptation for young men and women under 40 to enter into matrimony before their economic condition warrants it. 3. Among persons over 40, there is a marked tendency to single life. 4. A very large number of the widowed and separated points to grave physical, economic, and moral disorder.
All power to the people. Yo, before anybody comment, I'm going to say a few things about what he just said. Yo, like, what he just said here, like, I wouldn't have liked this Du Bois. I really wouldn't have liked him. He sound more like a Charlie Kirk than a social scientist. Like, right here, listen to what he said right here. Like, this is
temptation for young men and women under 40 to enter into matrimony before their economic condition warrants it.
Who controls the economic condition? Who controls the economic condition? Who controls how much money, what money, everything he's talking about, he's blaming the individual. for what they find, the society that they find themselves in. Like, what if somebody, like, if you were born today and you find yourself in this world, how can you blame that child for them going to the school that's been there before they were born, that got the teachers, everybody in there already there? They just got sent to those schools. They were just sent. They didn't know nothing about nothing. And whatever they taught them there, that's what they knew. That's what they accepted as true, because they believed that this was for the benefit of all of them. Karima, you got your hand up? Go ahead.
No, that was old. I spoke already.
Okay. Ram, you got your hand up?
No, but I'm hearing you.
All power to the people. All power to the people. But yeah. Where was I? See, I'm getting old. I don't lost my train of thought already.
Rem, have your hand up. You want to say something?
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize my hand was up. Is it down now?
Yes, it is. Miss Garland, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Chairman, this is Miss Garland, the woman I was telling the audience about that she had to deal with police and her ex-husband, the Mental Health Institute. But Miss Garland, once we go through, we're going to give you a moment to speak, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for joining.
All
power to the people.
Among persons over 40, there is a marked life. 4. A very large number of the widowed and separated points to grave physical, economic, and moral disorder.
Right there. Moral disorder. The people. Yo, as Panthers, it's never the people's fault. I'm going to say that again, because I know you're all through your life, you're always being blamed for what's going on. As Panthers, it is our duty to serve the people. And if something is wrong, we fail the people. Yo, what are you talking about? What do you say, moral what? Let me bring it back. What do you say? Moral what? General Secretary, what do you say about morals?
Physical, economic, and moral disorder.
Moral disorder. That's why in the 1890s, black people were catching hell because of their morality. It wasn't about slavery. It wasn't about white supremacy. It wasn't about everybody around them that was trying to kill them because they were black. It's not about none of that. That they couldn't get a job because they was black. No, it's not about none of that. It's because of their moral issues. No. As Panthers, we don't believe that. We believe if they didn't keep you out of the job field, you'd be able to take care of your family. You'd be able to go get a job just like anybody else. We believe if they didn't hang you, you would still be alive. In fact, he was talking about black people and how messed up they were, and the reason why they wasn't living long enough because of what they were doing. Listen to all you gotta do is put it in Google. I put in Google why the death rate for black people in the 1890s, 1896. In 1896, the leading cause of death for black people in the United States were infectious diseases like tuberculosis, influenza, and pneumonia, exacerbated by extreme poverty. You poor. You a slave. You just came out of slavery. You don't have no money to get no doctor, to get the stuff that you're supposed to need to take care of yourself. And most people died. Most black people died back then because they was catching hell. It wasn't because of their moral, whatever you call depravity. What are you talking about? But this is Du Bois. This is the person that they told us to celebrate in school. And he's explaining the conditions of the black people in Philadelphia back then. And the whole time, he pointed his finger at the people. Like, it is your fault that you're living the way that you're living. You're dead, and now we don't blame the people. Because we understand there are institutions in place that have people working there that get paid to oppress the people, to maintain the system for the people they want to maintain it for. So we never blame the people. How am I going to blame somebody for not having an education? We pay taxes for the school to educate them. We send you to the school. You don't know how to read. You don't know how to do nothing. And I'm going to blame you. I blame the people that we paying to teach you. And then you know what the teacher's going to say? You know what the government going to say? Nah, we blame the parent. So after the parent go work 2-3 jobs, they're supposed to come home and teach the kid what you were supposed to teach them for 8 hours in the school. You jerking right. You're playing with me. I mean, like, you're not really trying to help us. And we need to put the institutions in our communities to serve our own communities. Yo, there's nobody too old. Yo, I don't care if you're 80 years old. Yo, you could sit down right there and watch the kids. You could sit down right there and tell the kids stories. I mean, like it gives you energy. Yo, to the day that I die, I'm always gonna be working with the kids. I don't see myself ever saying I don't want to be a Black Panther. Black Panther means serving the people. I mean, and like Karima said earlier, I said it last week. Yo, can nobody afford me? Can nobody afford us the work that we do? Yesterday we had a meeting. We got big things coming up, and we had a meeting. We had Panthers come in from another city. I don't want to drop names, but he came through and we had the conversation. And I was asking them, yo, how much would I have to pay you for you to leave your house and drive across state lines and bring these people with you for you to come sit down here, for us to sit down and have a barbecue and talk about protecting our people for free? How much would I have to pay you? He said, you couldn't pay me. You don't have enough money to afford me. Yeah, when you do this work that we're doing, when you serve the people, there's no amount of money that anybody can give you that will buy you and make you do anything else. You see, if you're genuine. I'm not talking people that come in here talking about nonprofits. They're trying to get money from the government to pay their rent, to pay their bills in the suburbs. I'm talking about people that do this work for free. People that are really on the ground, that really care about people. You cannot pay me. You can't. If you could afford me, I'll be working down in City Hall somewhere. My first job ever coming out of prison, after I graduated from college, got my degrees, I got a job making $80,000 down in City Hall. Them checks used to look good. They used to look good. But after a while, I saw like they wasn't coming how I was coming. They wasn't there to do what I was meant to do. My wife told me, man, leave that job if you want to be sane. You cannot afford to pay me, yo. And anybody that work with us, you can't afford the general secretary. She go to work. The general secretary leaves the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. She don't get home till like 8 o'clock at night. But she got time to work on people housing. She got time to work on people with the food stuff. She got time to do all this video, to put all this stuff together. There's not amount of money I can pay her for her to do this stuff. I don't have it. We got the captain that do the gym. She take care of the after school program. All these people work for free. We don't have the money to pay them. So if I got it, let me say I wanted to go hire somebody that works in college, and I say, I want to pay you to run the after school program. Every day you got to go pick the kids up. You got to bring them in and help them do their homework, tie their sneakers, wipe their nose. I want you to have reports on them, talk to their families. How much would you pay somebody that's about to graduate from a Seton Hall University? How much would you pay that person? I don't have it. We don't have it. Everybody here works for free. Our salary is the love for the people. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we're all going to eat. Because if we all pull our resources together, once she graduates from college, we're all pulling our resources together. Everybody in the community, we don't organize the whole community, and we buying up all this stuff, buying up these homes. Who is going to come in and push us out? You can't remove us from our community. It belongs to us. We the government.
Mic check.
Mic check, mic check. You want to say something, CEO?
I sure do, brother. The sister that you have on, that Sister Patience said is on, that sister, isn't she also, because my brother brought it to my attention, isn't she the same sister that has a sexual harassment suit against the mayor?
I don't think so.
Well, there's someone that was in the news about a week ago where I think the sister was a part of the police department. She got fired illegally like my brother did, but my brother won his case back in 2011 against the city of Newark police department, and he actually proved a pattern of racial discrimination was in the Star Ledger back then when they had the paper. But there's someone that's filing it's a sister who's filing a sexual harassment suit against the mayor. It's prominent. It was in his phone.
No, I remember. You're right. It is. But I don't think it's this sister right. She's not from North. But yeah, but it's a few of them that filed against the mayor. It's a few of them.
Right, and also, Chairman, on our Facebook page, because I wish you guys would slap some up there. We were at a demonstration down at UMDNJ Wednesday before last. All right, Brother Larry Ham was there, and Sister Deborah Edwards. She spearheaded this event. They're trying to close down UMDNJ, and they asked me for support, so we streamlined it through my man Kilo, and it's on our Facebook page.
All power to the people. Hey, General Secretary, could you get that Facebook up?
Yes.
When we put the video out, it's gonna be on there. But look, I want all the tags. Whatever social media you got, everything you got, we supposed to have it up. I mean, like everything that we share is supposed to go through there too. So, but anyway, that's what organizing is. That's why we have these conversations, to talk, to do these things. I mean, but let me move on to the next thing real quick. I want you to hear Muhammad Ali real quick, because every week, look, this week I was supposed to have it up here. I'm supposed to have it. This is supposed to be how we see these people, how we see the government, how we see the system that we're fighting against. I mean, and one more thing. If you pay attention to everything I've been saying, you see, because we're with the Black Panther Party. See, like, people think you got to be on some secret squirrel stuff. You know, we whisper, like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to come after the government. We're going to do this. Yo, that's not what we do as Panthers, man. Like, that has nothing to do with what we do. Nothing we do is secret. There's no secret to us being gentrified, and we say we got to come together, pull our paychecks together, and buy up the buildings. Yo, what is like violent about that? Yo, what is even radical about that? That the schools are not teaching our kids. We need to build our own schools. Nothing here is that we saying is radical. Nothing. Everything we say here is sane. That's what somebody with a brain that thinks. That's the natural progression in their thinking, in their analysis making. I'm about to let my Muhammad Ali speak real quick. But once you understand the words that are coming out of his mouth, once you understand this history, which most of our children don't, because we don't control the institutions that educate them, once you understand this history, you understand why you must build your own everything.
It says the American devils, the lynching, the killing, cutting the black people's private out, sticking it in the mouth is what the dead does. Got a book called 100 Years of Lynching, written by white men. Taking black women who was 4 months pregnant, they took us for years and hung us up with the feet and stuck a dagger in the stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves. They tied up black people to horses, and 2 horses, and pulled his arms out and pulled his legs out. Lemonade trains with white children and white people of America used to come and watch them tie up 10 or 15 black men and pour gasoline on them and burn them, watch them burn alive. They took us and hung us up with trees and shot us with bullets. They took and cut a hand off and they gave it to a little boy and they took the leg off. And this is worse than the devil.
All right, but
see, the devil, the preacher in the church taught us that the devil was up under the ground.
Right.
And he would wait till he died before he burned us up. This white devil in America was worse because he burned us while we was alive. He didn't wait till we died.
Yeah, he have. When you understand this system that we in, this system of capitalism, of imperialism, it has no morality. It doesn't care who you are. It is cannibalistic. You see, once you understand and you accept that, and you have a full grasp of that, you won't be running around here talking about voting, because you know that makes no sense. You won't be talking about going into the system and trying to change it, because the system only changes you. It makes you rationalize everything. All that energy that you came in there with, you rationalize that shit. Yo, most people in this age don't even know who this is right here. But like, I want you to listen to what he's saying. Listen to him.
When the Spanish came, these priests burned for 30 days all the Mayan books.
Hold on, wait. This is John Legend. Where we at?
So there was none left, and his reason was...
Lennon.
He said when the Spanish... You say what?
John Lennon. You say legend. It's Lennon.
My bad, y'all. John Lennon. This is John Lennon. I mean, he was assassinated. I think that's Yoko. Now, they blame her for breaking up the Beatles. But I think it was his way of thinking that broke up the Beatles. His way of understanding. But listen to what he's telling you. He's telling you when the Spanish came, what they did to the people there. The Spanish priests. Not the Spanish people that were in Spain. The Spanish priests. The head of those institutions. When they got there, listen to what they did.
When the Spanish came, these priests burned for 30 days all the Mayan books. So there was none left. And his reason was, it's either the word of God, and we've already got that, so we'll destroy it. And if it isn't, it's the work of the devil. So they destroyed the whole Mayan culture, literature, which was very good and very aware. And there was about 3 books left, which sort of say, got up and went to work. And there's not enough words for them to work out what the language was. What's going to happen?
You're so frustrated at what was done to the Indians in the past that you feel like you should do something for their descendants now, who are still getting it.
Well, I know, they're illiterate and not educated, not looked after. I mean, they're like, I don't know if they're having it worse than black people here, but it's pretty rough for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very bad, and I think it's good that people have a sense of conscience about it and are doing something about it.
Well, they made so much money out of the Indians. At first they took the land, and then they made movies about them taking the land, It's a bit mean, What's happening with India? I mean, what are they doing for them, Don't they legally really own the land?
Not enough. Interestingly enough, some conservative politicians seem to be more concerned for the Indians than some liberal politicians.
Maybe they realize how many there are on the whole American continent, including the South.
How many
people think there's only a few Indians left. There's millions of them in the whole continent of America, which includes South America. And one day they're going to be asking for their rights. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't standing next to the black people too. So it's either give now or die later, I reckon.
See, I message with John Lennon. Imagine on my Mount Rushmore of artistic works. You got to listen to Imagine. Listen to what he's saying in that song. I mean, see, but this is what, when they say political violence, the government killed them. They did the same false flag. You hear what he's talking about? He's talking against imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to say something? He's talking against imperialism. You see, that's why they killed him. That's why the government killed him. Yeah, they always got some patsy that they say did it, but they killed him. He was powerful back then, and he was British. He wasn't from America. He was just visiting, and he asking them how they were treating the Native Americans here, the Indians, how they were treating them. And he's saying that they're going to be standing next to black people. My problem with celebrities like this is they don't understand, like, that takes work. That takes organizing. You got to organize those people. We were just talking about how our relationship, our family structure is socialized to fail. It's socialized to fail. That's what we were just talking about. It's the same thing with everything else. The same thing with Native Americans, with all people, with immigration. It's all socialized to fail. And the celebrities, these people that really act like they care, they don't build any institutions. They have no institutions in place to be able to change the trajectory of the way how the people think or how they socialize. I mean, and that's the problem that I have with celebrities. Like, I really don't want to hear you tell me that this was wrong, that's what's wrong. Let's fix it. Let's get to work. That's where I'm at with it. That's with everybody. But I message with John. Go ahead.
In his defense, he was assassinated before anything came about it. I can hear my voice. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. He was actually living in New York City at the time.
Yeah.
And he was delving deep. They used the whole his wife breaking up the band as some kind of like precursor to it, but I think they were already distancing themselves from him. I can say enough about this because my family loves the Beatles so much, and they call Yoko Yuck Yuck.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that he was enlightening himself, and he was giving a lot of information to Europe about this country. And a lot of it's true. The Spaniards who are associated with us, mixed race people from south of the border, they're seen as some kind of minority, as if like they were beneficial to our existence. But no, we are the products of rape. We are the products of ethnic cleansing. Our languages were destroyed, our true languages. And this happened because they used the Spanish language as a educational tool. And who were the teachers? They were the very monks who were talking shit about our culture and saying that we were savages, we were this and that, or we were innocent children, and we could be easily raped, and you can make a new race. And that's exactly what happened. And the United States, or the British people who eventually became the United States, they took notes, and they did it differently. They did it very differently than the French and the, let's say, the Catholics. The French and Spanish, the Anglicans, they saw money. So while the Spanish may or may not, there was a 50-50 chance that if he had a child from one of the rapes, he might make him, give him a better title, send him to school. Same thing as the Philadelphia Negro, and this happened when the United States was involved. But the British, they were ruthless. They sold their own children for money, and it tells you a lot.
You 100% correct. You're right, man. You know you always dropping jewels out here. You're 100% correct, man. Like even like this week, like look at this right here. House votes on resolution to honor Kirk. I just showed you John Lennon, right? Patience. I just showed you John Lennon from the Beatles. I mean, like, you hear what he was saying. You heard how he was critiquing imperialism. Charlie Kirk bastardized everybody that wasn't what? That wasn't white, male, and belonged to the ideology of white supremacy. That's what he spent his little brief time on this planet doing. But look at these politicians. Now you got to ask yourself, why would the politicians come out? They gave him a whole day. They gave him a day, a holiday. The same day that George Floyd, I think that's George Floyd's birthday. These are the politicians that you paying your money to. Look up there, 915 Republicans. Yay, all of them. Yay, to give this racist white supremacist a day. Look at the Democrats. The majority of Democrats up there, 94. 58 nay. So 58 of them say like, nah. But it's strategic because they have some that say it, some that don't say it. And then you have present, 37, whatever, NV, whatever. I don't even care what it means. I don't care what none of this means. I don't pay attention to none of this. You see, because I know who these people are. These people are sociopaths. Every single politician is a sociopath. These people, they don't care about the people. Why would the Democrats go up there? They know Democrats. They know black people, people of color. They know. Yo, look, let me show you something. Let me show you. This is how most of the world is thinking. This is how most Americans thinking about this. Look.
Now you see Hakeem Jeffries voting to honor Charlie Kirk. Them niggas is bought, y'all. Israel bought both sides. I'm telling you.
That's how the
National Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day. That's what October 14th is going to be in the United States after the Senate voted unanimously in favor of it. Did you know that the United States has more school pew-pewings than any other country on this planet by a long shot? Those are largely ignored by the American government, but when the victim happens to be a wealthy, well-connected, conservative white man, all of a sudden you get a National Day of Remembrance.
The people know. These are the people. These are the people, and these are the politicians. The politicians that we say are not accountable to us. The politicians that control the institutions that you're sending your kids to. Like, if they're up there making a day for Charlie Kirk, this racist that we all know is a racist. I'm not going to go through and play his videos. Yo, I don't want to give people like that airtime here. If you want, you could go back and go look. I already played it last week when we had it, all his comments, what he thought about people. Google it. Go on TikTok. Just put Charlie Kirk. You're going to see all the ignorant, dehumanizing things he said about people. Not just said. It wasn't like it's a... I'm going to get to that in a second. But listen to this.
We just got some breaking news here, Chad, that Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the Democrats, the House Democrats, just voted yes. He's a yes on honoring Charlie Kirk, and AOC just voted no. So there is the Democratic Party. Really should be bringing everyone together. Thank you, Chad. Program live on the Hill for us with that breaking news. Let's bring in Shannon Bream now. Give us your take on, this is a resolution that is very simple, very easy to understand, and there it is. It's final now. Let's listen in.
Voting present are 38. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Yeah, that's what the politicians are doing. They're showing you what's important to them. You heard that young lady say there's been a lot of pew-pewing. She's talking about shooting because you can't say it on social media. You can't say nothing. We free. There's freedom. You're supposed to be able to express yourself. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, all these stupid fake amendments they got, these fake papers that's washable with erasable ink. All this stuff, these laws they have. She's telling you, all these kids dying, everything happening. Yo, they don't go make no laws. They pass nothing to serve people. All these people, record numbers of people being thrown into the streets illegally by slumlords, by corporations. Yo, nothing. The Congress, the Senate, all these people are nowhere to be found. But with Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, or racists, they're up there. Why? Because this is what they want you to think. This is how they want you to move. This is who they want you to blame. They want you to say black people are not home, taking care of their families, because they just want to leave their families and run away. They don't want to take care of their kids. That's the type of stuff that Charlie Kirk pushed. Charlie Kirk didn't talk about how child support affects all of that. Charlie Kirk didn't talk about how the economic sector, how the jobs, how all of this have something to do with that. That if you don't have no money, if you don't have a certain amount of money, you're not even considered a man. And how do you get money? How do you get these jobs? You go to the worst schools. The worst schools in the state, in the community. You go to the worst schools. And once you come out of those worst schools, you're supposed to be on equal footing with everybody else to go get jobs from companies that only prefer to hire certain people, especially not you. See, Charlie Kirk ain't talk about all that. He just said they don't want to be around. Even though by number, by the data, black men, Hispanic men, they're more in their children's lives than anybody else. But you see Charlie Kirk go up there and talk about these people, dehumanize them as if they're nothing. Not just black men, black women, anybody of color, anybody that his side, the status quo, saw as other. His duty, they paid him hundreds of millions of dollars to go to colleges to go push this ideology on these children. While we here just talking, conversating, talking about Black Lives Matter, painting the streets with rainbow colors. They're putting infrastructure in place to be able to produce the minds that they want for the next generation that's going to enslave us. And what are we doing? What are the institutions we putting in place? So now all those Democrats and all those people that you see up there, all these numbers, why would Democrats be doing this? Because they're appealing to those college students. They're appealing to that base, that Charlie Kirk base. They want to appeal to them and get their votes. They don't want your vote. They know they can't get your vote. They know they're not going to do anything for you. So all those Democratic Party, they're always trying to go after the Republicans. Every single cycle. They don't go after... That's why I say the Democratic Party is dead. They dead men walking. They deader than a doorknob. There's no way I can see the Democratic Party coming back. It's impossible. For them to come back, they got to cut off the money. And if they cut off the money, you might get pew-pewed in the neck. So they're not trying to cut off that money. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun because I'm about to jump the gun. But let's go ahead. Let's see how much of this we could watch. I'm going to try, General Secretary. Let's see how much we could watch. But listen to this real quick.
As Crystal said, to the Kash Patel latest clown show that we have seen on display. It's absolutely shocking, honestly, to even see the way that this man is conducting himself in public. And it would all be a joke if it not only was he not the top law enforcement officer in the entire country, but his public statements, remember, can all be used at trial should Tyler Robinson contest his innocence at trial. Defense lawyers and others potentially taking advantage of all of the misstatements and some of the timeline and other things that Kash Patel has now laid out that make absolutely no sense. So here is the latest from the FBI Director Kash Patel in a Fox News interview yesterday, which was totally all over the map. Let's take a listen.
All right, FBI Director Kash Patel joins us now. I can't imagine, Mr. Director, how busy you've been, especially Charlie Kirk isn't just a impactful person, he's your friend. So I understand that. But having said that, people are looking to you to find out how big this investigation is going to be. Can you tell us the latest?
Absolutely. It's so good to be with you. And you're right. My personal feelings and relationship with Charlie, I have a job to do for the American people, and I'm committed to do it for President Trump.
So, yeah, that's the first statement that we have here from Mr. Patel. But the most important stuff that really starts to actually break down are some of the misstatements in particular about the investigation. You'll remember that if you look at the, quote, official timeline and more that's been laid out by the government, there really is a lot of stuff, Crystal, which doesn't make sense. So, for example, we have things about the screwdriver and whether Tyler Robinson was able to assemble the rifle up on the roof, disassemble it, take it down while jumping off, reassemble it, stash it in the woods before it's eventually found. This is also comporting with claims of finding DNA evidence on the said towel, but we don't actually see the towel. We've looked at the video in which it was wrapped up. Remember also, you know, the official narrative is about driving in, changing clothes. We don't have photos specifically about what those clothes look like. I could go on. I mean, there's so many more that he has laid out.
I'm playing this for a reason. I want you to understand. I need you to understand why I'm playing this. This is supposed to be their media. These people are just talking heads. These people support these institutions. They support the government. They're questioning the government. They're questioning their story. Like, none of this makes sense. None of it. Listen to them. This is Africa speaking. I think he's a libertarian Republican. He's something. He one of them fake parties. I mean, like, and this is how they're talking.
Here, and he is completely unable to lay that out and answer some of these questions. Take a listen to that.
On the ground, around 5 p.m. local on September 11th, was walk the entire crime scene, including the foots the suspect himself took. And what we learned was there was evidence, DNA evidence, that could be collected and had been collected, including a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop. Also, we went over to the scene in the wooded area where the firearm was discarded, and the firearm had a towel wrapped around it. And I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
Remember about that screwdriver, the fact that it was then reassembled, or it was found assembled in the woods, remains highly relevant. Another reason why that initial thing about the Kash Patel and his personal relationship with Charlie Kirk is that any defense lawyer could say that there was a personal matter potentially corrupted the investigation. It is a bit complicated because as of right now, it's not a federal case. It is being handled largely by Utah authorities, although they are looking for potential ways for it to go federal. But all of this matters in a court of law. The fact that the timeline does not match up with the, it just doesn't pass basic muster. For, the idea is that you had an outfit of which we have not yet seen, and allegedly is which the suspect was identified. This reassembly is a major question for the investigation. The charging documents have not yet been made public, so we're not yet clear to the official timeline that will be contested in a court of law. And we haven't even yet got to the alleged note that Robinson confessed to. Anything you want to say before we play that?
Just on the screwdriver, so what Kash Patel is saying there is a screwdriver was found on the roof, presumably, where the killer was stationed when he took that fatal shot. The reason why there's a lot of questions around this is because they released that video of him jumping off the roof where, look, it's blurry, it's difficult to tell exactly what's going on there, but you can't visibly see the firearm. So was it disassembled? And then if the screwdriver is on the roof, but the gun is found reassembled, then how did he do that? So those are some of the...
So look, they're questioning everything that they're saying. They don't work for the Black Panther Party. They don't belong to the Black Panther Party. These are the people that work. Her father used to be an ambassador or something. Like she's been in politics. I think she held office before. They're questioning the FBI, CIA. They're questioning the narrative. While most of us are running here talking about I'm a Democrat, I support these people, whatever. They don't have to answer nothing. They're not accountable to nothing. They just go out there and say whatever. You should have saw how he was talking to them people in Congress. This is the reality that we're living in. I mean, and as a sociologist, I see where this is going. We're at the point where those in power don't even give a damn about lying to you anymore. They're not even trying to make it seem like it's real. They're not faking you out. They're just saying whatever and moving on to the next thing. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? These are the same people. The same people that Muhammad Ali was talking about. He told you they'll hang a woman up and then they'll take a knife and they'll cut her stomach open so the child could fall out. They'll take a knife and they'll cut the penis off of a man and stick it in his mouth. Why did they do that? To intimidate, to scare people. To scare you from fighting back. Go ahead, Rod. You want to say something?
Terrorism.
Yeah. Terrorism. To terrorize us. That's why they do that. And it doesn't change. Now they just shoot you like 20 times in the back and they said they were fearful of their life. They'll shoot that dude. And this is something that we must understand. When the people, the masses of the people don't commit these political killings, assassinations. That's not how it works. You may have 1, 2 here, maybe somebody a crazy person. You may have, I don't even agree with that either. But by and large, most of the political assassinations are done by the other side of the political class. It has nothing to do with the masses of the people. The people didn't put a bullet in that boy's neck. They didn't pew his neck. Because you're going to hear them talking about this climate. This climate is not the one that's causing nothing. It is a struggle between the power structure that's causing political assassination. Because they're falling apart. They're at war with each other. I mean, they're too far away from the tigers that enslaved the masses of the world, that enslaved the whole world and took power. These new white people, these new Uncle Toms are too ignorant to understand what it took to get to this place. That's why when people like us, when you hear revolutionaries say, like, we don't care who wins, in fact, we think if Trump wins, it's going to be better because it's going to expose this decadent society for what it is. This is what we're talking about. It's exposing them. There's no more blindness. It's always been fascist. America always been fascist. This ain't nothing new. Because you listen to these black politicians, they're talking about the democracy. American democracy is under attack. What democracy? America has never been a democracy. But these people lie to get us to buy into slavery. Where you working 2, 3 jobs. You can't afford to eat. You go in the refrigerator, look in the refrigerator, and like go back again like 6 times. Still looking like something going to pop in there from somewhere. Or you trying to come up with a combination of something to fix to be able to eat. You don't go out. Because I can't afford it, so I'm going to just stay home and watch Netflix. All of these things are socially constructed. What are we going to do? This is what they've decided to do. They're honoring KKK. The KKK, that's what they're honoring down at the government. The taxes that you're paying. This is what they're doing with your taxes. What are we going to do? I mean, but a General Secretary, you want to come through and talk to our... You coming?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Well, what up? But the General Secretary coming real quick. I'm about to shoot a commercial real quick till she get here. I'm about to shoot a commercial. Let me go to the commercial real quick.
Some of the pieces...
No, that's not the commercial. This is the commercial.
But why did they crash into the Twin Towers?
Because they wanted to go to New York.
So they crashed into the Twin Towers to go to New York. They died to go to New York.
They wanted to go. The hijackers wanted to go to New York. They crashed into the Twin Towers.
Oh, they wanted to go land in New York, but they crashed into the Twin Towers. So anybody else got saying that?
Hey, before the General Secretary come, like there's something I wanted you to see real quick. Yeah, this is disgusting right here, man. Oh, look. I didn't even talk about this because we almost 2 hours and stuff. Look, this is what they're doing right now. This is what the politicians, this is what they're writing policies. Like he's telling them, like that's what happened to white supremacists. That's what happened to the KKK. They shoot him in the neck. They expel that boy out of school. This is the world we're living in. Your First Amendment, right? You got free speech, all of that goofy stuff, right? This is what's going on right now in real time. He's laughing. He's making jokes about a KKK, a savage, a white supremacist getting shot in the neck. And he got expelled from the white schools that he's going to. Because it's their schools. You ain't gonna be running around here talking crazy. Look at Freeway. Look at Freeway. Remember Freeway? The cop's job, their only job is to lock us up and throw away the key. He's a sheriff now. He's a sheriff because they found ways to co-opt you and bring you in. And look at her. Look, black woman. I'm telling you, like, our own people are the ones that's helping maintain our suffering. You can't tell me Freeway don't know. Let me play you. I think you can hear the music in the background. Right here, look right here. Don't you know cops' sole purpose is to lock us down and throw away the keys? I remember. This is Freeway. That's what he used to say because he was in the hood with us. But as soon as you start trying to make money, trying to find your way in this society, to climb this racist, white supremacist society, you got to build alliances. Look at her. I bet you she thinks she's a role model. She thinks she's doing something good. Well, I know she doesn't think. In the back of her mind, she knows she's a savage. She's not a savage because she's a black woman. She's a savage because she's a pig, because she's a cop. And she's trying to get the rest of our people in our communities to think that that's an honorable job. Their only job, like Freeway said right here, don't you know cops' sole purpose is to lock us down and throw away the keys. That's their job in this system for white supremacy. We didn't make the rules. That's why we call them armed agents of the state. Look at her. Yo, Pace, I got one more, yo. Now you good, but look, this one right here pissed me off today. It pissed me off the whole week. Yo, that woman right there is mentally ill. You can hear it. You see that? You see the black woman next to her? Sister Love. The judge is gonna be a woman. Sister Love. The sheriff. You're gonna see the sheriff, another woman. But when you're working in his system, you are trained. And watch this black woman face. I was about to call her sister. She ain't no sister of mine. Watch her face. Like she's trying to smile and fake like she really have affection for this person. But she knows what they're doing is wrong. I think they caught her, they're saying they probably caught her in in one of them supermarkets, them department stores, taking something, whatever. That's what they claim. But she's been sitting in jail for 50 days before she got there. A mentally ill person. You put them in jail for 50 days, and there go a black woman right there, all surrounded by women. And all of them are acting like this is okay.
I'm sorry, 50. You have 50 days time served. I'll adjudicate you guilty. You'll also have to pay a cost of investigation of $339.70 to Orlando Police Department.
Where's she gonna get that money from to pay? If she what did they investigate? Like they say she stole, she has to pay for the investigation. So if she don't pay for the investigation, what you about to come do? Give her a warrant and lock her back up again? This is the world we live in. Look at that black woman standing next to her. These are the enemies in our community.
You're not to return to the target at 4650 Millennia Plaza Way. Okay? You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence in this case. The appeal must be in writing. You have the right to an attorney if you can't afford one will be appointed for you.
Your Honor, in her case, I would just ask that her court costs be reduced to a civil judgment.
Okay, I'll reduce your court costs and fines to a civil judgment.
So, like, she just said that like she did something good, something positive. I asked for to be court, whatever, to be reduced to civil judgment. Like she think like I done did something good. You're working in a system that's locking up people that are mentally challenged, throwing them in jail, where the worst of the worst supposed to be. And for what? For probably stealing some food from Target. What kind of a society are we living in? Why haven't we understood that we need to build our own institutions?
Okay? Okay. 339.70.
Africa, I wanted to say.
This is horrible. This is horrible.
Yo, this made my stomach turn. Go ahead, Karima.
So what I wanted to say is, what if that public defender is there in place to help people like her. Like, you're looking at it one way, but I'm looking at it like, what if it was another public defender that didn't look like this one, that didn't ask for her fines and stuff to be reduced? Because you just said, how is the judge imposing all of these fines and stuff? How's she going to pay it? But if that particular public defender wasn't there to ask for those charges to be reduced, then that would happen the way you thought it would happen. So sometimes we are in place, even though we can't do much, we can do something.
All power to the people. No, I understand that. I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying. I mean, and we believe in ideological struggle, so I may not be right. I may be wrong. You may be right. But I've gone through this process where, charity does nothing to save anybody. I don't want no charity, and as Panthers, we don't do charity. Letting her go home, she don't have to pay for that. She's coming back to jail because she's going to have to find a way to feed herself or take care of herself. And if there's nowhere else for her to take care of herself, she's going to go right back to what she's been doing. All she's doing, all that black woman just did, is maintain the status quo. That's what her duty is in that space. She had just maintained it, but she took away that money that she ain't got to pay that money. She did 50 days in jail. She already paid that money off already. I mean, but be that as it may, her being in that job, having that job, is doing nothing she did is going to change that woman's reality in general. And so as Panthers, we say, we all got these jobs. We all work on the plantation. You got lawyers, you got police, you got all this stuff. If you're not working to build institutions in your community, if that woman right there that's hugging that slow person, that mentally challenged person, that the system is exploiting, if she's not working on an underground system to build institutions to serve her community, she's just in the way. She's jerking wreck. That's how we look at it. I mean, Ibrahim, you wanted to say something? Or let me finish.
I was just gonna say, this lady is.
No, don't say that. It's like 5 seconds left on the video, and then I want you to say what you got to say. She done did 50 days already. Look at her. Just look at this.
And she'll be released as discharged.
She should be able. Then as soon as Cardi B is the first thing that come up on TMZ. I mean, like when I got the clip off social media. Look, this is what comes up next. Cardi B, Stephon Diggs, all kind of goofy stuff. But by and large, nothing changes. You saw, like when they say inclusivity, we're gonna bring black people. We're gonna bring you into the system. You're gonna be part of the system. You saw the black lady that was the CEO. You see the black lady that was the public defender. You see the black lady that was standing there about to go to jail. Not even dead, mentally dead, but this system is still going to exploit her because that's how they make money. Remember I said cannibal? Eat his own? In what society is a mentally challenged person getting thrown in a jail for probably stealing to eat? In a decadent society, in a corrupt society. Go ahead, Ibrahim.
No, I was going to make the same point that you made. If she did 50 days in the county jail, they already even got their money times 50. Whatever she was stealing, it wasn't worth no $390. You gonna those products. I doubt it if she ran out of the store with a TV. But and even if she did, they recovered it. But the point I'm making, she's indigent. If she wasn't indigent, she would have made bail. What I heard is that we're going to move this over to civil, meaning when she can't pay the money that she's not going to be able to pay, it's going to go to some debt collector. They're going to put interest on it, and then it's just going. She's probably already got bad credit, but I'm just saying this hunts you down the road. You talked about black men paying child support in their 40s from the time that they was probably 18, 19, 20, right? This is if this lady was to ever be able to get her life together down the road, they would have tacked on so much debt from stuff like this that she would have had new hurdles then. Just by the grace of God, if she would have, become mentally and emotionally stable and started on this new path 5, 10, 15 years from now, right? We're going to tack this debt on so now that follows you. By the time that anything was to happen, when somebody says, oh, we're going to look at this debt, I mean, it'd be thousands of dollars, right? My thing is that, like, we need to, if you there and you advocating on behalf of this client, I don't know, because this is just a small snippet, maybe they're working outside with some other justice organization that eliminates that. But you got it moved over to civil. I would hope that it doesn't stop there, and I would hope that beyond this video that they will go beyond and get all of this stuff erased, right? Because they do have programs for this stuff. But just to put it on civil, it's just you just tacking it on, right? So now you're not gonna lock me up for it. Now it's just gonna be on my credit report and bring me down on my history. But I just don't like the whole image of that of having a black lady sheriff that takes her back into the county, and that's a turnkey, and that locks the door and put her back in the cage. And like this representation gets us nowhere where we just cogs in the same system that oppresses us. It's my thing, like if you get one of these positions, that you're different from your former and previous people who held these positions. If you're going to be I'm not saying don't be a police officer, right? You show the rapper Freeway being a police officer. If you're going to be a police officer, the way you police your community should change. If you're going to be a judge, the way you produce, the way you sit on that courtship, it should change. Whatever you're going to be, even if you're going to be a social worker, right? A black social worker versus a white social worker who didn't come from that community, a black teacher versus a white teacher who didn't come from that community. Whatever you're going to be, I don't care if it's a truck driver, right? A community advocate, a liaison between us and the police. If you from that community and representation means something, then the way you do your job should change. It shouldn't be the same, right? It's not just a job at that point. If that's the case, they should just have the people who previously done the job continue to do the job. Just have all white people work the job, and we can say they racist and they won't let us in because this is why.
But they're not going to do that. They're not going to have all white people there because then we're going to be looking and be like, this shit racist. But when you got a black woman there, and I think it's a white woman up there, so you can't scream patriarchy. You can't say the judicial system is a patriotic system. Hey, what you mean? We got women working everywhere. I mean, like, that's the trick that they play with us. So, like, you can't say the judicial system is racist, even though we know it's racist. What you talking about? That's a black woman. That's a black woman. That's another woman up there. Like, what are you talking about? All of this is a facade to make us think that this system is equal. And you know what's going to happen when you don't do what they want you to do? When you come in there as a judge and you letting all these people leave, your black ass going to get fired. Your black ass going to get fired. Hey, yo, real talk, this sister's about to come on. She's going to talk briefly about what's going on with her. Hey, yo, give her your ear real quick. The General Secretary is about to come on and introduce her. All power to the people.
All power.
All power to the people. Thank you for staying with us. Miss Charlene, if you're on, the floor is yours. Please give the people a brief synopsis of what's going on with you and how they could help you.
I am a resident of Williamstown, New Jersey. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfectly well. Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm a resident of Williamstown, New Jersey. Very, very racist town. They were the last ones to get the video cams so that they could be recorded doing some of the nonsense that they do. My ex-husband is friends with some of the gentlemen on the police department. He has a daughter-in-law that is a paralegal to a federal judge, a brother that is an attorney. So the way things were set up, I was supposed to be removed from my house and taken to a mental institution. But because I have a service dog, Versace, where are you at? Come here, baby. I have a service dog, and it all started from them hacking my email, and they found out that I had applied for pandemic unemployment. And during the pandemic, we were all directed to contact the congressman's office or senator's office if you couldn't get logged in or that your claim wasn't going through. And I was having a problem. So I contacted Senator Madden's office for help, which come to find out they never did help me. All they did was help persecute me. Senator Madden's office contacted a mental health facility and said that I threatened to hang myself because I didn't get my pandemic unemployment in over 35 years because I am a licensed real estate broker in the state of New Jersey. So we normally don't get unemployment as considered a gig worker. So they use that along with adding later on that day.
Miss Garlic? I think we may have lost her. Hold on, let me see. Miss Garlic, you're still on. You can continue, but we're not hearing you if you're not muted. Let's give her a few moments to see if she can get back on. But as I said, her story is
Charlene Garlic, am I back on?
Yes, you are. You can continue.
This happens quite often to me. My phone calls are interrupted. My internet is interrupted because they have my phones tapped. So this happens quite often to me that I'm, shut down. It happens a lot. My phone went absolutely crazy once it was exposed that the video was put up, me telling my story about what happened to me. So this happens a lot to me. But to make a long story short, they were successful with removing me from my home. But because my dog was a service, I got my paperwork and they allowed me to take him. But I was eventually moved to another facility because where they had planned for me to go, they wouldn't accept me with the dog. And once I was taken to the other facility in Cherry Hill, it was questioned, about the validity of what they were accusing me of doing. They accused me of putting a gun on a neighbor. Their exact words was that I had a history of pulling a gun on a neighbor, that I pulled my licensed registered gun on a neighbor, and that I did it several times. For me to pull a licensed registered gun on someone, you have to first take it from me to see that it's registered to me. That was never, ever done. There are no 911 calls, no charges. There's no way I would hold a license in the state of New Jersey had I pulled a weapon on anybody. The rules in New Jersey, just to threaten somebody that you're going to pull a gun on them is a felony. I have not been charged with anything because it never happened. The police department acknowledged that there was no altercation, but I was thinking that I never, ever had any altercation with him. My ex-husband had an altercation with the neighbor, which was verified, but there was no gun involved and I was not involved. They made it something that never, ever happened. There's no way I would have my freedom. They would have loved to have drugged me down my driveway in handcuffs. If I had pulled a weapon, why didn't they ever get a warrant to take the weapons? Your guns are gone. My guns were returned back to me after a bogus hearing with a judge that tried to have a hearing with me with no attorney. And I had to keep insisting, I need an attorney, I need an attorney. The attorney was brought by the court system. I spent $4,500 on that attorney. They are trying to financially bankrupt me because anything that I apply for in court, I'm denied. Anything. Right now, I have a case in court where my ex-husband's sister threatened me. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to keep dragging it around. A warrant's been issued for her arrest, but they're not going to do anything to her. They're not even going to arrest her. She has a driver's license, so you know where to get her at. They're not going to do that. They're using a bogus address that was given by my ex-husband, saying that she lives at his address. None of that is true. I'm afraid, but I'm not scared because I'm fighting. I don't have any skeletons to fall out of the closet. Everything that I'm saying is true and is documented, and they know it. I now have a federal judge that is trying to dismiss my case from court because I have been fighting them since 2023 for my rights. And this federal judge is protecting all the powers to be involved with this. Senator Madden, Jefferson Hospital, they all have these top so-called attorneys. I can't get an attorney to help me because they're afraid of them. I've had attorneys to tell me that if they took my case, that I had an excellent case, but if they took it, oh my God.
That's okay. Take your time. She may have fallen again, but she told me that the attorneys are telling her if they take her. Can you guys hear me? Okay, they're telling her if they take her case, they will never win a case in New Jersey again. So that's one of the challenges she is having.
You see how they keep cutting me off? And I haven't moved or did anything. This is what happens because they can hear everything that I'm saying. They don't want this to go out into the public. This is what I'm dealing with because they know there's no 911 call, no charges. They have nothing that they can say that I did. I am not mentally ill. I'm 4'11". I have 22-foot ceilings in my house. I couldn't have hung myself if I wanted to. I would have had to have assistance. Black people don't hang themselves. Other people hang us, and they know that. I'm thankful for the help that is being given to me because now I have another voice besides my voice. But I would love to be able to have a press conference to just get it out there to show everything that I'm saying is true. I know that they're going to come for me because they don't want to be exposed. I know that that's what they're going to try to do. I know that they're going to come for me. They follow me. My phones are tapped. I haven't done anybody, including myself, nothing to anybody. I would never try to harm myself or kill myself. I am a 25-year breast cancer survivor. I would never be so disobedient or disrespectful to take my life after I was given another 25 years of survival. I would never do that. My ex-husband did the same thing to the previous wife, but she didn't make it out of the mental institution. She died there. I made it out. I've tried to contact attorneys, Benjamin Crump, B. Ivory, all these big-time attorneys, and they have like a telemarketing system. I can't get any help. They only help you if you're dead or it makes the news. I didn't make the news because I'm a black woman in Williamstown, New Jersey, that even my own people are going to question. I say, if you're questioning what I'm saying, file the Oprah report and find out if there was a 911 call, if there was charges against me. You're not going to find anything. I have paid private investigators, and they all have been brought by the system. So all I have is me and anybody that wants to have the gumption to help me with what is the truth. Not what I'm saying, not my opinion, the truth, the facts. I have facts. It's in black and white. They already admitted that there was no altercation. You don't get guns back in the state of New Jersey and you've committed any type of crime. It will not happen. I still have my real estate license. I'm a licensed real estate broker. The state would have never renewed my license if I had had an argument with somebody. You can go from one end of my street to the end of it, and you won't find anybody who said I pulled a gun on them, that I did any harm to them. They won't even know about this because it's being kept quiet. They don't want anybody to know what they did. They don't want to be exposed. But I need them to be exposed. I fear for my safety. I just pray that God keeps that hedge of protection around me so that they can't be exposed. I don't have no skeletons to fall out of the closet. I haven't done anything to anybody except that I'm still breathing, and that's not what they want. They're going to keep cutting off my videos. They're going to keep playing with my phone. So many people have told me that they can hear the static in the phone, and as soon as I start to talk about something in reference to this case, the phone call is cut off. My phone will say I can't make any calls out. This is stuff that happens to me. My phone was fluttering back and forth once that video was released on Friday. My phone went crazy. It went bonkers because they're watching it. They know that they're now going to be exposed, and they don't want that. So any help that I can get is greatly appreciated. Whatever I can do to help this to continue to be exposed will be greatly appreciated. I would never harm myself or anyone else. And they know that. They know that they have been caught. I just don't have the powers to be to fight them.
Yes, you do, Ms. Charlotte. You have us. We are the power. The people are the power. And we're going to be behind you all the way through. And
Come here, Versace.
And for the rest of the audience, if you want to help Ms. Charlene or help us in any of our efforts and any of our survivor programs, please contact us. I always have the email and the phone number on our videos. But yes, send email to NAB as in boy, PP, NORCNJ@gmail.com if you want to help Ms. Charlene and help the Panther Party, help the community. Before we leave, do anybody want to have anything to say? The floor is yours. Go ahead, Mr. CEO. Brother Nash, you can speak. I see your hand is up.
I just want to say this is not emotions. It's driven by facts. Facts never change. The truth never changes.
All power to the people. All right, we're about to close out one more time. Anybody have anything to say? The floor is open. Or until next Sunday, we're here every Sunday at 12 o'clock. All power to the people. Ms. Garlic, I'm going to talk to you soon. I'm going to work on the video, but I'm going to call you later on today.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.